Oh, John, what are you doing? Again, yesterday or today, calling out and talking derogatory about two honourable men, Simon Bean MBE and also Dean Cumberbatch, saying, what was it now? They are treasonous and traitors. No, they are not, John. They would have been treasonous and traitors if they'd have backed your flag, because what they would have done would have been committing treason, because they would have been going with a foreign prince and prelate to get you in this country. But because they have now looked at it, and maybe, nobody's saying 100% yet, maybe they are going to look at doing it through the Constitution and lawful rebellion, which is both lawful and legal. They're no longer committing treason. They'll be protected by our Constitution. And anybody who is still following you after your last few tirades against the veterans, you've all got people in your family who have been veterans somewhere down the line. And this man has dishonoured every single veteran the way he's gone on and ranted and raved. Especially my dad, he has as well, and everybody else's dad who was in the forces. You may not be in the forces yourself, but somewhere down the line you will have had family who have been in the forces, and this man has dishonoured every single last one of them. And now you can stand by him and follow him now. You must be totally MK Ultra controlled. Because anybody with any common sense knows that this isn't viable, none of it. Especially the company. If this turbine company was a viable thing, don't you think the people who would have done it the first time would have carried on with it and not abandoned it because the cost was too much? John's come along and picked it up. Fair play to him if that's what he wants to do. But he's got it wrong, and he knows he has. And Susan Baker, when are you going to wake up? He's told you now 3 times. We'll get round to doing you're getting your kids back and etc, etc. When he's going to do what he's got to do. Well, that's never going to happen. He's never going to take control of this country. So it's just broken promises again. But you want to believe it, you believe it. Anybody who wants to follow John, follow John. But don't forget, Peter Coyle has now ended up on this yellow jacket. Just like me, just like Den, Rick, Den, Josh, like Nathan, like Simon. Anybody who speaks out against John goes on his yellow jacket. Well, he's going to be needing a company soon to supply him with these jackets, because he's going to keep running out of room. Because there's so many people now who are waking up to what's going on and doing the right thing and stepping away from it. Because if you do want your kids back, and you do want a country that's prosperous and safe and secure for them to go up in, you ain't going to go down John's route. You've already seen what's happened with Peter Coyle. Peter Coyle's sort of thinking about stepping back. I haven't said he is, but he's thinking about it. John's already put him on his jacket. What do you think he's going to do when he's ruling the country, if he did ever rule the country? The minute you say one word against him, it'd be like Henry VIII. Your head would come off. But you carry on blindly following him, and you carry on believing everything he says. But there's patriots, like I said, like myself, Rick, Josh, Den, Nathan, all the guys on YouTube, every single person who's in our new movement, it's not the dragons who've been attacking John. Is it again? And Dave, you attacked the dragons, Dave, and it wasn't the dragons. It was me, Nathan and Rick. And we did it with our new movement, the constitutional movement worldwide. The constitutional movement worldwide, not the dragons. We still love the dragons and we still help the dragons and we'll still support the dragons. Always will. Like I said to Mr. Lang, I feel like this movement is a sister movement to the dragons. And we'll always be thankful to the dragons and we will always support them and help them in any way they need us. But it's a new movement. The constitutional movement worldwide. Not the dragons. So stop blaming the dragons. It's not the dragons. This is only a quick short one anyway, because I just wanted to come on and get that off my chest. I just think it is despicable and disgusting the way you're talking about honourable men, veterans of this country, who last week was the dogs because they was going along with you, and this week because they've had to think about it and change their minds, now that all the scumbag mongrels, you name it, under the sun, John. Well, that ain't a way I wouldn't have thought to ever get them back on your side. Well, if they do, then more fool them. Because if you talked about us like that, which you have done, that's why we'd never ever think about coming back on side with you. But the main reason is because we know what it is. It is a scam. Simon's 100% right, Rick's 100% right, Nathan's 100% right, everybody in the constitutional movement worldwide is right, all the patriots are right, all those on YouTube are right. It's not up to us to prove anything, John. We've already got a constitution and common law. It's up to you to prove it. And if you've got all this paperwork like you keep saying you've got, and you've got the army, not the army, but you've got the navy and everything on your side, why haven't you come and done what you've got to do, John? Or why haven't you given Andy the paperwork to take in? If it's all legitimate and above board, they won't be able to turn him away. Present the paperwork into the appropriate places and do your takeover, John, if it's legitimate. Because it's not, is it, John? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. I don't know whether Nathan's coming live tonight with me to do the second part. I'm going to have to get in touch with him and find out. But anyway, either way, have a great weekend, what's left of it. Here's my hand, here's my heart. I love every single one of you. And remember, beware of the pirates. Bye for now. Stay safe, people.